Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Donald Williams. I'm the founding and principal attorney of Reed Williams, a professional law corporation. And tonight we will be talking about business compliance. The way I've been conducting my session is a roundtable discussion. And so, hello, what that means is we will be talking uh, amongst each other. You guys can ask me questions. People, feel free to chime in. If you have something, that could be valuable to someone else. We will be talking about your businesses and some of the issues you may have run into or that you believe you may face in the future. And I just ask that don't be shy. We're all friendly here, and we're here to help each other. So first, I see Kelvin Sue. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. And so, what's your business?
I'm an optometrist,
Nice.
and my business is downtown Sacramento.
Okay. How many employees do you have?
I have 3. They're all part-time.
Okay. And what do you hope to gain from this session?
Well, I've been in practice for 20-something years already, and looking to maybe in the next 5 to 10 to perhaps hand it over to somebody, maybe looking into retiring. So those are probably perhaps some of the issues that I'm looking to learn. Yeah.
So basically, how to sell your practice?
Sell, maybe even value my own practice, and finding an associate. But I have some insurance practices or insurance vision insurance plans that also helps with the finding an associate for your practice. So there are some ways for me to reach out and get those resources.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. We have Rick Sideri. Did I say that right? Rick? Okay. For those who just hopped on, again, this is a roundtable discussion. If you're here to listen, that's fine. But this works well when we all, kind of, speak to each other, ask questions, let me know about yourself and your business and what you have joined this session to learn. Ashley, let me see, Ashley looks like she's still trying to join. Jim Wu. All right, Mohammed Namat. Hi, Mohammed. Would you care to share what your business is? Auto repair. Okay. Well, thank you for being here. What kind of information did you hope to learn from this session? Thank you, Ms. McDonald. Okay, thank you, Mr. Muhammad. All right, Miss Betty Davis. Do you mind sharing what your business is and what you hope to learn tonight?
Well, I have a retail gift store, African-American gift store in Sacramento, and I'm just hoping to learn what I can and just listen and learn, basically.
Okay.
So I'm
Are there
doing,
any issues that you're facing right now?
not really, not right now, but we're probably looking to maybe in a couple of years to be out, maybe to try to resell the business to someone else, maybe in a couple of
Okay.
years.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing.
Mhm.
Miss Dahlia Sanchez Chavez. Dahlia, do you mind sharing what your business is and what you hope to learn tonight? Montessori school. Do you own the Montessori school? That's your business? Nice. How many employees do you have, Ms. Chavez? Nice. Well, thank you for coming. Ms. Chavez, is there anything you hope to learn tonight? Oh, just to learn and listen. I got you. Well, thank you for sharing. Miss April Macklin, how are you doing?
Hello. Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Fine. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Can you share what your business is and what you hope to learn from this session tonight?
I have a daycare center. Basically, I'm just listening and learning. I've been in business really for about 23 years. Um, and I have 23 employees right now.
Nice. Are there any particular issues that you like to learn about?
No, well, no, I don't really have any issues. Not yet. I I am working on getting ready to actually purchase the building that the center is located in. So other than that, I just want to learn, see if there's anything I'm missing or need to do differently.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing. Um, Before I move on to the next person, it appears Jen Hall. Uh, I believe that this session was supposed to be about websites. Tonight's session is about business legal compliance. Um, Thanks, Selena. And so that's what tonight's session is. And I believe it was websites at one point, but it had been rescheduled. So sorry for the confusion. All right, moving on, Mr. or Mrs. Who's this? Is it Yan or Yan Wu? Derek, I don't want to butcher your last name, but Derek Hui. All right, Ashley Sterling, Healthy Lifestyle Management, Medical Supplies and Services. Thank you for sharing, Ashley. What do you hope to learn from this session? How are you doing, Miss Miko Banks?
I'm doing good. Thank you for hosting tonight.
Okay.
I own a roadside assistance company out here in Sacramento, and I employ 3 men, soon to be 4, and just here to just get educated and just learn.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. Are there any particular issues that you hope to learn from tonight?
Nope, everything is good. Just educate myself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Muhammad Arain, do you mind sharing? Hi, Mohammed. How are you doing? Do you mind telling us what your business is? Thank you. Is there anything you hope to learn from this session? And for all those who are just joining, I've been doing this every session. What we're going to do is more of a roundtable discussion. I'm here for you guys, and so I didn't come into this basically with a PowerPoint presentation for things that I felt like I should tell you guys, because every small business has its own issues. And so I'd rather spend this time, speaking to the issues that are important to you guys. So that, you guys can, so I can at least try to guide you guys, towards finding the answers and or the resources that you need. There are some things that I will touch on, mainly protecting yourself, protecting your business, which is what I've been speaking about in the other sessions. And there are various ways you can do that, which I'm sure some of you know, since it seems like a few of you, or maybe more, have been in business for a while. And so you understand what I mean by protecting your business. Welcome, Kathy Cinderling McDonald. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. It's nice to meet you. Thanks.
Nice to meet you too. Do you mind sharing your business?
Sure. I'm here for the program because I'm the president of the board of a small local pool. We have a swim club, and we received one of the loans. I also am the executive director of a nonprofit here in town. We have about 12 staff. We represent county human services agencies. So we do a lot of advocacy in the Capitol and in Washington, D.C., and with the state agencies. So I'm coming at this with sort of two hats, both thinking about this little club that I'm temporarily kind of running, as well as this organization that I'm actually just taking over from our retiring executive director. I don't know of any like current issues, other than I always feel like I'm just worried that I'm missing something. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so much to do, and like you're talking about making sure my board is protected or our company is protected in some way, and that we don't make a misstep. So definitely looking forward to what you have to share with us tonight.
Sure. Well, thank you for sharing. And Mohammed, thank you. What are some legal compliance issues you have seen businesses struggle with? I will definitely touch on that tonight. So thank you for sharing that, Mohammed. Ms. Smalls, how are you doing tonight?
Hello, God bless you. I'm doing well. Thank you so much. My name.
Sure, go ahead. I was just about to ask you, would you mind sharing your business and what do you hope to learn tonight?
Okay, great. Yes, my name is Bridget Smalls. My business is Golden State Educational Services, and we are a vehicle dealer provider. We actually help car dealers get their license to get established. So it is something that's required by DMV for them to take our program. So we have a 6-hour pre-licensing class for them, and we also do continuing education and paperwork so that they can get the dealership up and running. And then not only that, I actually just opened up my own car dealership as well here in Sacramento. And so it's great to get online with you, just kind of because I've been doing the teaching side of it for the last 14 years, that I've owned the business for 5. But now I'm stepping on to the other side too, where I'm going to actually have the car dealership up and running as well. So yeah, just want to stay in compliance with everything, with all of our paperwork, and just get,
all right. Well, thank you. How many employees do you have?
I currently have 1 employee. Yes.
Nice. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing.
Yes, thank
all right.
you.
Also see Ben on. Did I say that right?
Yes. It's like bed,
Better
like
Living
recycle
Massage,
bed. Yes,
right?
can you hear me?
Is that your business? Mr.
Can you
Ben?
hear me? Okay.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm well. Sorry. Yes, you pronounced it right. It's like recycle bin.
Gotcha. So do you
Yeah.
mind sharing your business?
Yes. I own a therapist office. I do muscle ache and pain relief, massage therapy work. I have two offices, one in San Rafael and one in Sacramento. I work mainly with athletes, elite athletes from pro to high school to um, even kindergarten kid that's starting into getting into sport and starting to put their body into wear and tears. Um, yeah, I've been doing this for 20 years. I just recently moved up to Sacramento the last 2 or 3 years, and this is my second office. Um, yeah, really my main focus is, obviously I think I can run my office well. I don't do much advertising. Pretty much a lot of it is word of mouth. And I think I can run the business okay. But my dream always is want to involved with like a sport team. The reason why I also moved up here because my brother is involved with the Kings, so I'm trying to get working with the Kings and other sort of organizations. I'm come from a foster kid family, and I'm also legally blind. So a lot of my work, it's definitely destiny. It's from my hands and my heart. So I also want to give back a lot of my time and my money. With my mission of my office is giving back to foster kids, but I really having a hard time getting my words out and I but like I don't put much effort into it. I could
Well,
do
let me ask you
more.
this. I don't mean to cut you off, but let me ask you this. Are there any issues that you find yourself running into with your business as far as staying in compliance or trying to figure out like your next steps?
Yeah, I have a hard time like expressing or approaching new company, new clients. Um, and right now, I want to sort of add another sort of uh, modality into my office, like hiring or adding like an acupuncture, also a
Gotcha.
mind, like a psychologist, like a mind stress and trauma relief kind of thing.
Okay,
So
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 you're
I
hoping
want
to,
to, yeah.
are you hoping to like expand, basically add some employees, expand your business a little bit? Is that what you're
Yeah, like
Okay,
more rounded, more like mind and body as well.
gotcha. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, no problems.
Rachel Taylor, welcome.
Thank you. Yes, Rachel Taylor,
Do you mind
Tycoon
sharing your
Capital.
business?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Rachel Taylor. My practice is Tycoon Capital. We're a real estate brokerage specializing in affordable housing.
Okay. What do you hope to learn tonight?
I'm just here for the education. Yep. And whatever you may be sharing, look forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Jen Hall.
Okay, there we go. Hi there.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. I own the Feathered Leopard. I do handmade leather work and jewelry, and also vintage decor and plants.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, is there anything you hope to learn tonight?
Well, I was thinking it was a different class or a different meeting, so
Okay.
I guess we'll just see.
Well, no problem. Thank you for coming anyway, and
Yeah,
hopefully you'll
totally.
learn something from tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, totally. No, I'm sure I will. Thanks.
LaShonda Cormier. Kate Whalen.
Hi, I'm Kate Whalen of Kate Whalen Events. I primarily plan private events, special events like weddings, and larger corporate events, nonprofit events. Obviously, I am not doing much work right now. So I'm taking this time to learn all that I can so that I can improve my business processes so that when we can safely operate again, we will do so in an even better fashion.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing. All right. I think that covers everyone. Just to give you guys an idea about myself, again, my name is Donald Williams. I'm the owner, principal attorney at the Reed Williams law firm. I am a labor and employment attorney. I have experience representing both employers and employees. And so I have been the attorney to both benefit your business and to also hurt your business if you mess up. And so I try to help small businesses protect themselves from possible lawsuit, being sued. And lawsuits can come from many different ways, usually employees, but not all of you have many employees. Some of you may just be a solo or have one or two employees. And so your issues are going to be a little different. And while this session is only 1 hour, in that we would probably need a lot more time to talk into much detail about every single person's issues that they may be facing, or I'll try to touch on some of the things that you guys have spoken about. What I've heard, like some of you guys, I don't know, as far as protecting your company, even protecting your brand, considering trademark registrations, both your brand name and logo, for both goods and or services, whichever you provide. Some of you who've been in business longer may even know about protecting yourselves with insurance. You can have both, just generic or commercial insurance. You can have directors and fiduciary and officers insurance, errors and omissions insurance. And for those with employees, you have employee practices liability insurance, or employer practices liability insurance, rather. And so insurance, one, as you know, for even automobile insurance or medical insurance, is a good way to protect yourself. Those types of insurances are good to protect your business. Along with your entity structure. And so however your business is structured, either the way you up, or there may be a better way to set up your business structure to better protect yourself as an individual. Because the goal is to separate yourself as an individual and your assets as an individual from the company. You want your company to be a separate person. And in the law, corporations or business entities are looked at as a person, and they're treated as such. And so that's what we're going to be spending some time talking about. For those who have multiple employees, you're going to run into some different issues. Especially during this pandemic, the big thing that has been the topic of discussion for many employers is, how do I treat my employees during this pandemic, dealing with the leave laws, the new leave laws, whether it's sick leave or FMLA, CFRA, more specifically, for California Family Rights Act, for dealing with the state of California. But those are some of the things that you're going to have to deal with. First off, does anyone have any questions about the leave laws or the new leave laws as they've been amended to, reflect the kind of time that we're in right now during this pandemic?
I do. One of the questions that I have is that I have a lot of part-time employees, but it sounds like the leave laws that are in place are still the same amount of time given for even those part-time employees, if they were to have an issue. Is that correct?
Yes.
So is this discussion, excuse me, this is Jackie Howard, and I'm a ghostwriter, so I'm a party of one, and I'm a sole proprietorship. Is this basically for businesses that have multiple employees, or will you handle? Okay.
No, ma'am. No,
Okay.
ma'am. This isn't just for, as a matter of fact, out of the 3 cycles, this session, the business owners in this session have had the most employees. Usually the business owners that I've been talking to have been solos.
Okay.
I've had maybe one other employee. So this is a special session, meaning that we have some seasoned business owners with multiple employees. Now let me speak to Kelvin, Mr. Kelvin Sue. Earlier, you were the first one I spoke to when we started out tonight, and your goal was to one, retire, and to evaluate your business, and potentially seek to sell your business so that you can retire. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Do you currently have a law firm or outside law firm retained?
No, I don't.
Okay. Have you ever needed one?
No, luckily.
Well, that's awesome. And so the good news is for you, there are law firms that can actually help you with this process. I call them defense firms, and the reason why I'll tell you in a second. But they represent employers, and they usually run the gamut. They have full service practices. I don't know how many law firms you're familiar with in the city of Sacramento, but Weintraub Tobin's a good one. Chronic, what's the other? Nossaman. There's some really good full service law firms in Sacramento that can assist you with, both, valuing your business and helping you transition into retirement. And if, bringing an associate on is something that you're looking to do, as you told me before, you have insurances that can also help you do that. They may be able to assist you with making that transition. And so that is something that you may want to consider, reaching out to them or to a few different law firms, shopping around, seeing, who can help you. And then I'm sure they'll even talk to you about your timeline, so that hopefully it won't, rip your pockets out trying to get this done. But, it is something that you should definitely consider to help you along.
Thank you. What would be a good timeline? Should I start thinking maybe, 5 years ahead, 7 years ahead?
The fact that you're already considering retirement is a good time. I mean,
Oh.
seriously, it's if you're considering retirement now, now's a good time to start reaching out to law firms, and it'll allow them time to see what needs to be done, and give you a timeline of when you can be out, when you can retire and sit on an island. So now would be a good time to start doing that.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right. As for the small business owners, so the things that small business owners have, that big business owners, or I don't know if you necessarily want to call them big business owners, but multiple employees, there's a lot of different laws and statutes that they have to remain in compliance with. Unfortunately, some of those don't necessarily apply to solo practitioners or businesses with less than 5 employees. And so that's the good news. But there are still things that you need to remain in compliance with. For example, you are a registered, or you at least should be, a corporation or some other business entity that is registered with the Secretary of State in California. And as a part of that, there are state filings that you need to be on top of. There may be board minutes that you need to take annually. You know, there may be statements that you need to submit annually. There may be tax documents that you need to submit quarterly. And so these are different things that you need to be on, well, maybe not quarterly, but there are different tax documents that you need to stay on top of. And the thing that I like to tell small business owners is you are skilled in whatever it is, whatever goods or services that you provide. Owning a business is a different skill. For example, I'm an attorney. I learned how to be an attorney before I learned how to be a business owner. And I became a good attorney before, I learned the business of law or practicing law. And so I had to study to become a good business owner because it's different. They don't teach you how to run a law firm or, run a business in law school. And so the amount of, studying and research that I had to do to learn the law and to be a good attorney, I had to do the same thing to be a good business owner. And so the amount of time that you spend in like learning what needs to be done and learning how to properly run your business, you need to take that time. And I wouldn't rush through it. I wouldn't just, rest on your, laurels and, hope that, selling whatever goods or services you have would be good enough to keep your business open, because it won't. That's not usually the case. So just visiting the California Secretary of State's website is a good start. Looking to see, okay, well, what things do I have to make sure that, I submit by X dates? And the website is pretty good about letting you know what you need, even when you register your business. There are different permits you must have to operate in the city of Sacramento, different licenses, different things that, it's just a Google search away. And so taking the time to research and making sure that you cross your T's and dot your I's, it's really important that you do that. It may take up more time because it may be unfamiliar to some, but it's worth it in the long run. And, once you're comfortable with what you need to do annually, it'll just come natural to you. You'll understand, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. And if you're very organized and you utilize your calendars like I do, you'll have it already plugged in. It'll remind you, and you'll know that, okay, well, I need to submit this. You'll probably already have the template ready to go. You insert the data or whatever information you need to enter, and then you submit it, and then you'll be good. And once you are able to master those things, then bringing on other employees or expanding, you can now focus on those other things because now you have that. And so there are some resources on the SACTAP website, or the BSBA website rather, under the SACTAP menu, that many of the speakers have shared, which should help you guys or give you guys at least a start in finding, the information that you need, whether or not you know it. There are many resources in these sessions, various speakers who can tell you, okay, well, you need to make sure you have this information or submit this information. And that's what we're here for. As far as, I did want to speak with, I believe it was Mr. Ben. Mr. Ben.
Yes. Hi.
Hi, how
Hello?
are you doing?
Well,
Yes. So you were letting me know that you were trying to expand your business. Right now you have how many employees?
it's just me. I work by myself.
Okay, and you have 2 offices?
Yes, that's that's the thing. Yeah, that's the dilemma because I know that picking up more employees will demand more work and you know, all the other just stress. But then with my type of work, people just want me to work on them, or they like, it's like a hairstylist. People very kind of picky sometimes. So I don't even know if you know, picking up more, it's a good it's a benefit. And the other thing I want to ask is that I want to maybe find a business partner. So that lead to the legal question is that when I find a partner, would you recommend me have them sit down with an attorney and figure out how we're gonna collaborate in with this business?
You know, I'm actually glad you asked that. And so, you know, a lot of attorneys will tell you, like, for a question like that, yes, you should find an attorney. Now, I think people should find attorneys only if you aren't willing to do the work yourself. And this goes with many things. If you're not willing to put in the time to do the research, to figure out exactly what you need, and would rather somebody tell you what you need, then you should definitely go find someone or pay someone to do it for you. For example, an attorney. When it comes to partnership agreements, though, Mr. Ben, which is what it seems like we're getting into, partnership agreements and
Yes.
entity, like the form of your business,
Yes.
that you should definitely consult an attorney with, because then you're going to start getting into different provisions or terms and conditions of the agreement,
Right.
partnership agreement, to protect both of you, to
Right.
protect your business. And so that's something that you definitely want to do. Again, can you do it yourself? Yes. Do I advise against it? Yes. Because there are many attorneys out in Sacramento in the state of California that can help you, provide you with a partnership agreement, provide you some guidance on how to set up your partnership, as the business.
Yeah.
Whether it's a limited liability partnership or a general partnership, there are plenty of attorneys out there that can help you with that. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
that's what I advise you to do. I think that would be the best way to go. You can shop around. There are plenty of attorneys that range in price that will tell you, I charge, $500 for this versus one that charges $1,000 for the same thing. Just, do your research and shop around for a good attorney who can do it and do it well.
Yes, thank you.
No problem.
Sacramento is also the home for more than 100 marathon teams. I just finished a full marathon, my second full marathon. The marathon teams here are amazing, and all of those teams in Sacramento have people that come out to do your services, massage after races and do that kind of thing, that are looking for spots where they can make permanent or part-time home. So if you partner with other therapists from the marathon teams that are looking for a place, and you're looking for a partner, that may be an outlet. And I know one of the biggest places for the marathons are the shoe stores and stuff like Fleet Feet. Fleet Feet has their own team.
Oh.
All of the Fleet Feet, Sacramento, Davis, Oakland, Elk Grove, all of them have their own teams. I went with the American Stroke Association to Kona in 2005 with 267 people on my team.
Wow.
So you got an abundance of
Well, there you go. I mean, that seems to be even a good independent contractor possibility for you there too. One thing that a lot of small businesses, and I'm not going to say that businesses fail to do this, but it's not like opening a business comes with a manual. And so there are things that when you're opening a business, like, you have to deal with the Franchise Tax Board in California, you have to deal with the IRS. Even if you're a nonprofit, like, you still have to deal with these agencies. And it's always good to have certain resources at your fingertips or on speed dial. One is definitely an attorney. Two is a tax advisor, whether or not they're CPA. And let me explain that. So you don't always need a CPA to handle your taxes. And some businesses are more comfortable with CPAs, and that's fine. But there are perfectly good accountants who are not CPAs who are more than capable of handling that for you as well. And they don't charge as much as CPAs too, which is better for small businesses. And so having a tax advisor is good. Having a lawyer that you can call is good. Going back to what I said earlier, having insurance is a good thing. I have insurance. As a professional, I provide a professional service. I have professional negligence insurance. And so, for example, legal malpractice. Attorneys should have it. Now, not all attorneys have it, but it's good to have just in case you get sued for professional negligence, legal malpractice. You know, medical doctors, they have insurance. And the same thing can be, can go for you guys. You know, if there's whatever services or goods that you provide, there's an insurance for, I'm sure. Also, having access to, I don't know if you, well, here's what I'll say. You have many organizations in Sacramento, and I won't speak for other cities in the state of California, but there are many organizations that provide their resources to small businesses and are willing to. SacTap is just one of them. And this is definitely not to plug, any particular organization or group, but, businesses, should take the time to figure out what resources are available to them. And you guys have done a great job by finding this resource for your business. And that's what, a lot of small businesses fail to do because, there's, running a business can be a lot for just a solo person, and even for, a business owner with multiple employees. Paperwork is the headache of all business owners. It is. I'd rather be in court or writing a motion or, doing something else other than handling paperwork. But that's a big issue that small businesses have, is handling their business paperwork the right way, whether it's pay stubs, making sure that you provide accurate pay stubs, that you're providing a pay stub at all to your employees if you have multiple employees. Making sure that your onboarding paperwork is correct, making sure that, your customers are receiving accurate invoices, and that, whatever you're agreeing to in your contracts with your clients, making sure that you fulfill those terms and conditions of the agreement. I mean, we all know businesses that, will say one thing and will, like you'll bring in your car, for those who have auto repair shops, sometimes, your car be ready in 3 days and you're not getting it for 3 months. And so, there are plenty of business owners out there that make promises, but you want to be those business owners that make sure that you stay on top of your paperwork and that you're performing your job the way you're supposed to, which goes a long way in protecting you, because angry people sue people. Like that's really what it is. You get sued by people who are unhappy with your goods or who are unhappy with your services. And a lot of that has to do with making sure that you stay on top of your paperwork and that you're fulfilling what you promised to fulfill. And the insurance is kind of like your backup. It's, if I did everything correct and they're still not happy, or even if I made a mistake and they're unhappy, I have insurance to help me out so that my doors won't close. Now, I know we're in a pandemic. This is a different time. COVID-19 isn't the fault of any small business owner. But this is a good time to figure out how to make or possibly make your business, pandemic proof or even recession proof. What ways can you make your business or shape your business to both stay in compliance with everything that you have to do, including the new laws that were enacted, but also, create new ways for your business to make money. Now, this isn't a money conversation, but we're talking about protecting your business and we're protecting your money. Does anybody have any questions so far? Oh, okay, thank you. Kate, I don't know how long ago you asked this question, Ms. Whalen. You're concerned about liability for when you reopen. And so you're concerned with opening your doors to customers and any liability that may be had from, I'm assuming from someone possibly contracting COVID in your business. Is that right?
Not in my business. So because we're event producers, I mean, our industry is probably the top reason why COVID is spreading right now. I think they said somewhere around 70% of the spread is due to private events and gatherings. So we have made the difficult business decision, despite what our clients prefer to do, to not do unlawful events of any kind since March. It's been a struggle to keep our business afloat, and we're very grateful for the support that we've had thus far. But I'm very anxious about starting events again when it will be considered lawful, and the liabilities that I hold as both a vendor at an event, being the planner and considered an organizer of an event, and then also being the employer of people attending the event. Got you.
All right, so a couple of different things. One, I'm glad that you have stayed in compliance with the laws that California has passed. That's the smart thing to do. I know that trying to stay in compliance with California's laws has hurt significantly small businesses. There's, as far as event planning, to the extent that you can still plan events, host events, or even have events for that matter, doing different things to protect yourself, like, make sure in your agreements with whoever, you're planning the event for, waivers, like making sure that people are, I'll be the first person to tell you, and a lot of attorneys will, that waivers are a good way to go. If you're going to go out and have an event at the risk of catching, a virus, then I'm gonna need you to waive your rights to sue me if in the event you are to catch COVID.
I guess that's probably the best. Oh, sorry to interrupt. I guess I get worried in California because even if I have them sign a waiver, they can still sue me, and I can waste a lot of time, energy, and resources fighting that lawsuit despite their signing that waiver, and that scares me, I guess.
All right. My answer for this: insurance. Insurance. People can sue you right now for nothing, unfortunately. People file lawsuits every day. Not all lawsuits are good lawsuits. And so what I say to that is, it really doesn't matter what you do. And so, a person can see you tomorrow and you'll have to deal with it. And so my advice to you is, if you don't already have insurance that provides coverage for, defensive lawsuit in the event you're sued because of whatever service you provide, then you should get that.
Would that be errors and omissions insurance? Would that be what that would be covered under typically?
Possibly, but there are also some some companies that will kind of give you a package. And so they have errors and omissions, as well as directors, officers, and fiduciaries. And then, after that, you also have kind of an umbrella insurance that if those things don't cover it, this umbrella insurance would.
So like
And
general
so-
liability, essentially, right?
What'd you say?
General liability
Yes.
insurance. Okay, cool.
Yes.
I do have
And
those.
so
both of those.
I would reach out to a few different companies and see if, you know, what they can provide, what kind of packages they have, and what would be the best package for you. And don't be afraid to ask them questions. You know, if you're not sure, for example, for the question you just asked me, like if I'm hosting an event and someone wants to sue me for, you know, planning this event during the pandemic, you know, what kind of coverage do I need to help me with that? Or if I make a mistake on some paperwork or something, or an invoice and something like that, what kind of, you know, insurance would I need for that? You know, when people come to attorneys, you know, they pay a lot of money to, you know, for a consultation, if it's a paid consultation, or for a retainer, if they decide to go with the attorney. And a lot of times they don't ask a lot of questions. Like if you guys have attorneys or ever speak to attorneys, ask a lot of questions. You know, use up all that attorney time that you paid for. Ask every possible question that you can think of that has to do with your business and protecting your business and you. No question is a dumb question. You know, just like you're not the legal expert. You're going to a legal expert to find out how this, you know, may be a legal issue, which the person that you're going to, this attorney, is paid to do and paid to research. Do attorneys have all the answers? Not all the time. A lot of attorneys will tell you it depends, which it does. You know, it depends on the facts of the situation. It depends on what exactly you wrote, what was said, what was done. And so attorneys will have to research, which is fine, but that's what they get paid to do, to answer your legal questions, to research it and get back to you with an answer one way or the other. Okay? Muhammad asked, Rick Sadiri, on average, how much of your time should you spend on paperwork? As much time as you need to get it right. Seriously, as much time as you need to make sure that that paperwork is right. Because if my contracts with my clients aren't correct, or if I submit something to the court that's incorrect, it's going to make me look bad, and it might be even bad for my client if I can't fix it. And so I make sure that my paperwork is correct before I submit it or do anything else, especially for my business. I want to make sure that, you know, my books are accurate, that, you know, everything lines up. When I go to my accountant, you want to make sure that everything is square so that your business stays open. That's the most important thing, that your business stays open and that you're protected. Next question. If I get sued, what's my first step? Hire a lawyer and have him or her handle the case. All right. So when you get sued, the first thing you want to do is, yes, go get an attorney. Now, not everybody knows what attorney to go and get. So a lot of people run Google searches, and you know, as an employer, you're looking for a law firm, a defense firm, going back to that, which I want to explain to you guys. Defense firms defend from employees usually, and or other businesses who are suing them. And so the larger law firms, like I mentioned before, you have your Chronics, your Weintraubs, Kirkland Ellis, Littler Mendelson, you know, there's a ton of them, Seyfarth Shaw, like a bunch of those, you know, law firms, they represent small businesses and large businesses. They run the gamut, and they are full service. If they can't do something for you, they can find somebody who can. And so that's a good place to start. But yes, find a lawyer. Next question. Is it better? This is a question from April Macklin. Is it better to have a lawyer help me with the purchase of the commercial property? How do you know what other insurance a business needs? All right. First question. Is it better to have a lawyer help you with the purchase of commercial property? Yes. Do you necessarily need a lawyer? No, but there are real estate attorneys who are better equipped to handle those kinds of real estate purchases. And so if you are able to, financially get a lawyer in this situation, then yeah, I would recommend you do so. Your second question, April Macklin, how do you know what other insurances a business needs? Your insurance is going to depend on whatever your business is. And you can contact various insurance companies to figure out what insurance you need. If you have employees, there are various workers' compensation insurance providers in the state of California. Berkshire Hathaway is one. There's another one that I deal with regularly, but I can't even think of the name of it right now. But, as an employer, you can shop around for different insurances that you may need. And all it is a Google search, workers' compensation insurance for businesses, or, errors and omissions insurance for businesses, or, just do some searches on Google. It's really, that simple, and some stuff will pop up. Make phone calls and ask questions. And that's really how you're going to find what you need, and they should be able to answer your questions. All right, you guys, it's 6:56. I'm still here for you guys. If there's anything that, you guys wanted to know that I haven't touched on, please ask away. I'm here for you guys. Are there any questions?
What do you think about the legal folks like Legal Shield or something like that gives you access? You pay monthly fees, but it gives you access to lawyers to answer your questions. How do you feel about those kind of systems?
I believe those systems can be good. I don't necessarily treat Legal Shield like it's the opposition of attorneys. Like, it's not, I don't feel that way about Legal Shield. Legal Shield, can be, if it's something that's not that complicated that you're trying to do, something that's straightforward, then it might be a good thing. But if you want to make sure that, something is done right, then I would actually go speak to a human attorney and, talk to them about what you need. Because Legal Shield is kind of like if I wanted to create a living trust for myself, I can go on Legal Shield and do one. But there are certain things that a trust and estates attorney can provide me that Legal Shield cannot. And I wouldn't know that, like, if I'm not an attorney and I go on Legal Shield trying to set up a trust by myself and just using their services, I may not necessarily know what I'm missing. Do you understand?
Yes, but if, and I have Legal Shield, if as a writer, when I have questions about the contracts that I set up as a ghostwriter, they will answer those questions, or they will send me to that particular kind of lawyer, and I actually talk to a person. Yes, and a lot of times when I publish books and people try and sell my books without my permission, I've had inquiries against Amazon or other booksellers to take status down about me that's not true or correct. Legal Shield lawyers have gone in and done that for me.
Oh, that's nice.
When it comes
So,
to,
I mean, yeah, like, I'm not saying, Legal Shield is a good tool.
yeah, it's a tool
for certain things.
That's
Yeah. So
yeah.
I have no qualms
But
with Legal Shield at all.
Yeah, it does point me into like you say, real lawyers.
Yeah, we can only,
do
like, their
specific
templates can only
things.
provide
Yes.
so much, right? And
Yes.
to the extent that they can't help you, then they point you to a person.
Okay.
All right, thank you. From Dahlia Chavez, where can I find the new labor laws recently put in place? Okay. First, you can go to the Department of Labor. So United States Department of Labor. And then you can also go to the California Department of Industrial Relations. You can go there. There's also the labor workforce. What is it? Think of the name right now. I think it's the Labor Workforce Development Agency or something. The LWDA. Labor Commissioners, the California Labor Commissioner. Definitely go to their website. Those would be the places that I would start first, Ms. Chavez. Does that answer your question? Does anybody else have any questions? All right. Well, thank you guys for coming tonight at 7 p.m. I'm pretty sure SACTAP appreciates you guys for coming out tonight. If you have any questions or comments, please send them to Selena Pryor. And, if you'd like to speak with me, I can be found readwilliamslaw.com. My name is Don Williams, and you guys have a good evening. Thank you.